Wow. 8 thumbs up already this morning. Good morning, my friends. This is Bob, K6UDA. For the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net, and welcome to the Southern Idaho Command. Let's see, who all do we have in the house here? Let me start off. Howard Buck, KN4WPF. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and start logging people. I'll start logging you guys in a couple of minutes early. KN4, not a 5. WPF. Howard, got you in there. Pamela, got you in there. KO4 ESA. Pamela is a treasure trove of information. She sends me stuff all the time. It is great. Pamela, thank you. And she's one of the admins here on the live stream. So if you've got questions, ask her. KC5YMC. Bobby, I've got you logged in already. KB9UPY. Yep, you're in there, Tim. You are in there. Cal or Shell. K88 LGZ. K88 LGZ. Okay, what I'm doing, guys, in case you don't know. KD8 LGZ. Doesn't come up. Oh, well. What I'm doing, guys, is I'm using NetLogger on the back end to keep track of whoever's in the live stream and who is on the radio. Because, hey, this is more like a radio show or a radio net, not a show. Man. Wow. A lot of stuff going on. Pamela, but decided to get my license watching videos and started share. Oh, yeah. Please, according to Pamela, like, share, and subscribe. There you go. Yeah, Pamela got her tech license in 2020. Prep Ham Paul says, good morning. Man, a lot of people in here already. 24 people. We haven't even started this thing. I hope we have a good net. I'm going to be asking you guys for your input today, because I ain't doing this all alone. Eric is in the house here. I'm going to put you in. KJ7 GFE. Eric is in the house. Good to see you, my friend. And good morning to any of the other people from AmCon. If you're new here from AmCon, give me a thumbs up and say hi. KK7ISF. Let's put you in. KK7ISF. So, I got a nasty gram from the NetLogger people last week because we went too long where I didn't log people in. So we're going to have to take a break every now and again, and I'll ask for check-ins. And if you're in here and you put your call sign in, I will automatically log in from time to time. Wow, what a great crowd we've got already. Prep Ham Paul, K5 VOP, got you logged in there, my friend. Jeff. Yep. Jeff, you're already logged in. You were an early login or an early check-in on the radio. Wow, we got 10 nodes in there. That is doing good. We haven't even started, and those guys can't even. I'm not even talking to them yet because I don't start the net officially until 9 o'clock. I like to give you guys a couple of minutes before we get going and I start talking to the radio and give you guys my undivided attention here on YouTube. If you don't like YouTube, if you would rather watch me on Rumble, after this is done, what I do is I take the video and I post it to Rumble. K9PAL. K9PAL. You're in there. Maybe. My computer just locked up. Okay. Bill and K5DUX. I'll put you in there. K5DUX. I might miss a few people. So if I don't read your call sign off at some point, put it out again. Jim, W5JAP. W5JAP. In there. James, you're in the house. Logged in. Very, very cool. Let me run back. Run back over to the main site here where you guys are. And Alan, KJ7 LTV. Since I do not have logging in on chat. Okay. I will get you. I'll call for logins throughout our time doing this and grab a couple of you guys. KJ7. Where? LTV. And another Idaho. There you go. And I should have remembered that one. Mark, KN6EVQ. KN6EVQ, and I think I might have already got you in there. Don't know. But I'll get you in there again. And N4HAT. Very, very cool. Man, this is N4HAT. We got a big list. Got 21 people logged in on NetLogger so far. If you don't have a call sign yet, if you're watching and you don't have a call sign because either you're not going to get a call sign or you're just studying or thinking about it right now. Let's see. Oh, I got lurkers here. KC3. I'm going to log you guys in. DRU. N7RBP. N7RBP It is 9 o'clock. I got to start doing this thing here. So I'm going back over to here. And I'm going to... Oh, I got to pull up another... a recent one. Topics. Got to get my preamble going. Open recents. I got to get the little thing that tells me what to read. And then we start. All right. Got the mic in my hand. Ready to go. All right. Good morning. This is Bob, K6UDA, for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. And welcome, first of all, to the Southern Idaho Command. This net meets every Saturday morning, 0900 hours Mountain Time on the K6UDA repeater located here in Twin Falls, Idaho. This is digital-only net accessible via Wires X Room 40448, which is the Idaho Command. Also available on YSF Reflector 56026. That's the YouTuber's reflector. We can also be heard locally on the Hanson Butte 2-meter repeater. That's the Fusion repeater 145.170. And local hams without digital radios can also monitor and play along on 442.000. Let's see, the purpose of this net is the free exchange of information related to emergency preparedness, commonly known as prepping. We encourage deep dives into subjects related to food, water, shelter, personal protection, weapons, survival tactics, medical issues, communications, and gear. Looking for subject matter experts to lead discussions on all these various topics. If you have material you'd like to discuss when you check in, and that's something that I'm not talking about or we haven't covered, but you think it's important today, you want to cover, you maybe have 1 minute just to apprise us of something going on. Indicate that when you check in, or key up and check in. Let me know. Let's see. Although not primarily political, except for today, discussion of relevant political, cultural, or religious events are welcome in the context of situational awareness and survival. In order to give everyone an opportunity to be heard, on the radio side at least, I'm going to do check-ins and comments in the following order. I'll ask for local repeater check-ins, then Wires X check-ins, YSF check-ins, and then I'll get to the live stream stuff. So I encourage you to check in with your first name, call sign, location, and how you're getting into the net, whether you're local, Wires X, YSF. With that being said, do we have any check-ins on the radio side? Check-ins local on the radio side. I thought I saw a K7YAZ. If that is your call sign, come again. Either key up or answer up. All right, I got you keyed up there, Bill. You're in there. Any other, let's say, Wires X or YSF check-ins?
Kilo Oscar 4 Echo Oscar Delta KO4EOD. This is David in West Central Florida. Good morning. Calling in via Wires X with FT5. Good morning, everyone.
David, good to hear you. Thanks for checking in. Any other Wires X or YSF check-ins?
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Oscar Hotel Uniform. Sean from Minnesota. Name on FID across Wires X.
All right, KF4 OHU. Is that Sean?
Name correct. Kilo Foxtrot 0 Oscar Hotel Uniform call.
Got you in there. Thanks for checking in. Any other check-ins? Anywhere? Anybody?
W5JAP, Jim, Abilene, Texas. Already checked in on YouTube. Just let you know I'm checking in YSF in the radio also.
Fantastic, Jim. Good to hear you on the radio. Any other check-ins? Awesome. Thank you, Bob. Good to see you here and good to talk to you on the net. Any others? Any other check-ins for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net? This is K6UDA. Okay. Well, that tells me it's time to kind of start jumping in to our subject for the day. First of all, do we have anything from anybody, unfinished business or questions from previous nets, intel reports, anything like that? Okay, hearing nothing, we'll get into today's subject. So, this comes from this whole net idea comes from Terry KJ7RAR, good local friend here. Let's see. He saw this on a Glenn Beck podcast. This is an interview, or it's based on an interview with Sheriff Richard Jones out of Butler County, Ohio. He's the president of the National Sheriff's Association, representing 3,300 sheriffs countrywide. Sheriff Jones was in Washington, D.C., had a meeting with Christopher Wray, the director of the FBI. And according to Director Wray, who should be impeached in my opinion, there are more red flags today than there were before 9/11. That means there are more things that should alarm you and I, things that do alarm law enforcement and our intelligence community in this country than there ever was, and definitely before 9/11. Lots of things are screaming. Be aware. Let's see. The amount of military-aged illegal immigrant men coming over the border from countries that hate America is enormous. They're estimating now up to 60 or up to 10 million. I mean, these are just, not all of them are foreign soldiers or terrorists or anything like that, but there's a huge amount. 10 million, up to 10 million, they're saying. Just an incredible amount of males that have crossed the border without families, without wives, without children. Military-aged males, perfectly capable of working. They're not old guys. They don't appear to be persecuted when they get stopped. They're here for, they say, the economic benefits. Chinese and Iranians and the Russians have been and are continuing to attack our electrical grids. They're trying to get into our electrical systems, our water systems, the phone systems, communication systems, computer systems, retail systems, law enforcement dispatch centers. They have hacked a lot of these places in local areas. They say there is one FBI agent working on these things for every 50 Chinese cyber hackers. So for every FBI agent that they have working on these cyber attacks, there's 50 cyber hackers just from China that are sitting there back in China trying to hack into every one of our systems and bring things down. There are reports that, or intel, that cyber attacks on local elections, not the big national elections, but local elections, like right here, Twin Falls County, Idaho, are being planned by Iranian and Palestinian cyber hackers. They're not just flying over the borders, of Israel on hang gliders. There's also lots of sophisticated hackers that are trying to hack in and destroy or alter our elections, and not just the big national election, all the small little elections. That's why my belief is it should all be done on paper. It should all be done on one day. Everybody shows up to the polls on election day. That's why they call it election day. But I digress. You know what? I am going to open it up so far. Couple of questions. What can we do, if anything, to stop any of these events from happening, or at least be prepared in case they happen in our presence? And let me go ahead and ask that question to the radio side. Anybody, anywhere? Oop. Yep, somebody just kicked me off. So I got to figure out how to get back in to the Idaho command here. Okay. Anybody on the radio side have any ideas? Any ideas on how to stop any of these events, any of these hacking events, to bring down our critical infrastructures, our businesses, local law enforcement, anything like that? All right, couple of quick comments here from the YouTube side. From Prep Ham Paul, he says China knows they don't have to beat us militarily. They can blindside us by taking down everything, since everything is online and run by software. Absolutely true. Just think of what happens when, say, your battery dies on your cell phone. Everybody panics. Or if you lose the phone, and I mean, people scream that their lives are over if they can't find their phone. It's kind of crazy. Let's see. Take the infrastructure offline. They shouldn't be connected 24/7. And I kind of agree. The problem is it is connected 24/7. And I think once these systems start getting hacked and brought down, we will see a taking offline of a lot of this stuff. Yeah, I did hear the sheriff, Sheriff Jones, was saying for about a week after his dispatch center got hacked, they were on pen and paper. Let's see. Ham radio frequencies online says air gap all voting facilities from the internet, which is a very good idea. If we had paper ballots for elections, they can't hack a paper ballot. It's this Dominion voting systems is a huge problem in our country, and there was reports in the 2020 election of votes getting flipped. I don't know if that was a hacking issue or if that was baked into the Dominion software. Very, very hard to figure that one out, or at least for me to figure that one out. So back to what the sheriff had to say. 20,000 Chinese men have already entered California alone, and more are coming in every day. They have safe houses where they can hide and do whatever they're going to do their dirty deeds. Fentanyl from China goes through Mexico and comes in through our southern border. And fentanyl, my friends, in case you haven't really kept up on it, is so dangerous. It is killing people left and right. They're disguising it in other hang on for a quick second. They're disguising it in other forms, other pills, other medications, and ODing people. It's kind of crazy. I'm going to address a comment from the YouTube side. Tony asks, why is this a ham radio topic? Tony, this is not a ham radio topic, and this is not a ham radio specific podcast or live stream. This is about preparedness. This is about general preparedness. This is about situational awareness, which is a big part of what we're doing. We're trying to build a community of prepared, like-minded people who we can turn to when things go bad, and have our backs, either on the radio, online, in person, however that may be. All right, we've got 13 nodes on the radio right now, which is very cool. If you're watching the live stream, you could see on the Wires X page there how many nodes. If I'm talking, it's showing 14, but when I let that up, it is 13 nodes actually. Whoever's talking adds a node. Let's see. We have 85 people online right now and 36 thumbs up. I would like to have 85 thumbs up, please. Thank you. All right, back to, well, you know what? Let's do this right now. Let me go in and take a few check-ins. Do we have any check-ins on the radio side?
W6DUG.
All right, Doug, got you in there. Thanks for checking in, and glad to see your radio problem is all fixed. Anybody else on the radio side? Check-ins. All right, I'm gonna ask for check-ins on the YouTube side. If you want to check in, just go ahead and put your call sign into the comments, and I'll get you checked right in. Got KD6 CDT. Got you checked in, Al. Good to see you. Any other check-ins on the live stream side? All right, we got Ted, KB3 ZTD. It looks like. Yep. Nope. Hang on. Got to do it again because of my fat fingers. KB3. Oh, we got a whole bunch. I'm going to have to put the mic down for a minute, guys. Hang on. I need two hands to type. KB3. N9SIR. N9SIR. Okay, I'm going to get you guys logged in here. AC 0 M. Nice. KJ4ALC. KJ4ALC. And KK7GAE. KK7GAE. Very good. All right. So I got in there on this round here. I'll ask for them again on the live stream in a couple of minutes, because new thing, or not a new thing with NetLogger, but NetLogger is a new tool that I'm trying out here, and you got to keep logging, or else they log you out and they send me a nastygram. And I've got 2 nastygrams so far. I don't want to get a third, so I got to keep logging people. If I wait for a half an hour, I get kicked out, and if I get kicked out too many times, I'm screwed. So I got in W6DUG, KD6CDT, KB3ZTD, N9SIR, AC0M, KJ4ALC, and KK7GAE. Thank you guys all for checking in and keeping me alive here on NetLogger. And now I'm going to switch back over to here and back to our regularly scheduled deal. I am K6UDA, and this is the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. So, we talked about how easy or how much fentanyl is getting through from China, going through Mexico, and in through our southern border. Oh, did I mention Canada's border? Wide open. And they are welcoming with open arms refugees from Gaza. Those are Palestinians who hate us. So they're coming in. So those are pretty well just known terrorists. Let's just say that. How easy is it for Palestinians who hate America as much as they hate Israel to walk across that northern border? And you got to understand that the Palestinians cause havoc wherever they go. None of the Arab nations around them want to give them a homeland, and they've had plenty of opportunity. Give them a tiny little sliver of land in Saudi Arabia or Egypt or one of these absolutely insanely huge countries. No, they don't. They basically, they don't want a sliver of land. They want to destroy Israel and us. So, and they bring violence and trouble everywhere they go. Let's see. According to the FBI, Sheriff Jones was told that terrorists will be targeting... Oh, yeah, this is really disturbing. We always think, when we think of terrorism, that these guys are going to attack Los Angeles, New York, Miami, Chicago, major places, big cities where there's a large population center. The FBI, their intel is saying now that the terrorist activity is going to be targeting rural America, small towns like where we live, right here in the Magic Valley. Maybe the small town where you live, wherever you are around the country. They want to cause as much chaos as they can. I believe that a lot of the terrorists they're misinformed. They think that small town America is an easy target. They'll find out that we're not as easy of a target, and we're not as target rich environments as some of the bigger cities. But even a small attack in a place like this is going to cause much more chaos and havoc than it would in say New York City or Los Angeles. So what can we do to prepare and respond if we are somehow involved in one of these crisis events? I'm going to ask the radio. Anybody got any suggestions?
KJ7 RAR.
Kilo Bravo 5 Romeo Zulu Mike, the name is Blake.
All right, I'm going to take Blake first, and then Terry, because I know Terry's got a lot to say about this, because this is his baby here. Blake, go ahead.
Thank you all. I think we just need to be vigilant. Keep an eye out. Something doesn't look right. You decide how you're going to respond. Getting back to the terrorist attacks in rural areas. I also think it could be as simple as, God forbid this should happen, but blowing up a school bus in a big East Coast city, the same day you blow up a school bus on the West Coast city, and boom, that wreaks havoc everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, Blake. Great observation there. Terry, I'm going to go to you. KJ7RAR.
Thanks, Bob. I think one of the biggest threats is that we haven't had this kind of an issue in our country, and so we just don't see it, and realize that it can really happen, and that it probably will happen. So we're really kind of lazy when it comes to that. A lot of people want to stick their head in the sand and say, no, I'm not worried about this. It's not going to happen. The police will do it. Well, even in our town, Twin Falls, we have a small police department. And think of the things and the damage they could do. They disabled one of our bridges. We have a bridge that goes over the canyon, for those that don't realize this. And thousands of trucks go over it every day from across country. If they disable that bridge, or we have two bridges, it would cause chaos. And like the fellow before me, just one attack in a school or a bus or supermarket can throw the town into chaos. And so I think we need to be aware. So I think one of the things we need to do, pause for a sec, is we need to pay attention, be diligent. Keep our eyes open. When you're in Costco shopping, just keep your eyes open. If you see something that doesn't look right, be aware of it. I know there's quite a few ex-law enforcement officers that listen, and I am one from a big city, retired, but that's one thing we always had to watch for. A crime that may be happening right in front of you, but you don't see it, or beginning to happen in front of you. So we just need to be aware and not just go on oblivious every day as though our little communities are safe and nobody's going to be here, because I do think this is going to be one of the areas they attack. And I am one of these guys that believe that the grid is one of the areas that they will use. So I'll just hold it there for a little bit. Over.
All right. Yeah, thanks, Terry. Great observations. I've had my concerns. I mean, ever since 9/11, A lot of intel came out then. Thankfully, we didn't get hit with some of the things that I had heard, that I had observed that could be very easy targets for a terrorist. And I'm not even going to say them on here because I don't want to give anybody ideas. Pretty nefarious stuff. Let's see. Let me go to, let's see. Anybody else? Doug, DUG, I'm sure you have something to chime in about this.
Thanks, Bob. Actually, I had my microphone waiting for a break. Yeah, actually, I did. I wanted to mention one thing. I don't know what it's like in the rest of the states, but in California, and I'm pretty sure the other states have these. Each state has a fusion center or several what they call fusion center, which is an informational center for sharing suspicious activities. And in California, it's the one that I deal with is the CCIC, Central California Intelligence, CCIC. I don't know what the last part is. Anyway, when we had a suspicious activity at our church, I went online. It was very simple, and I did it what they call a SAR report, a suspicious activity report. Very simple to do. I hit the button to send it, and it sent it out to, I think it went out, when I pushed the send, I think it went out to like 109 agencies. Within 30 minutes, the local police had called me to talk to me about it. Later on that day, the CCIC had called me, and the following day, the FBI called me to get more information. So if you do see something that's suspicious, say something. Even if you don't think it's worthy of it, if it's suspicious, send it in. That's what they're there for, and they share that information with several agencies. Anyway, back to you, Bob.
Yeah, thank you, Doug. Let's see. Anybody else on the radio side? And then I'm going to get to a couple of the YouTube comments.
Okay, AB7SQ, just checking in, Bob, in and out.
All right, Lance, good to hear you. I got a KK7 EKK. KK7 EKK. Go ahead.
When we had Twin Towers or Columbine or any of the terrorist attacks that we've had in this country, the media has been talking, and everybody tends to gravitate towards media, and then their eyes are distracted. And they're now on their phones or they're glued to this, and they're not aware. Like we had mentioned, the situational awareness around your area. There's also the copycat people that go after, like the person that is in a foreign country that did that attack on an island. So the idea comes, one person does it, and the other person says, well, that's a great idea. So I'm complimenting, I think it was you that says not to give ideas over the airways, because God is the creator and the devil's the destroyer. So we don't need to give them ideas. They're working for the devil.
All right, thank you. Thanks for that. That is that is good information, guys. If you're not right with God now, get right with God. I can't say that enough. Let's see. A couple of just to let you know, we have seen a lot of disruption, a lot of things that are kind of, I would say, suspicious. Over the past couple of years, we've seen a lot of food production facilities being burned down, being destroyed. I got word this morning, right across the river here in Jerome, a dairy processing facility is on fire right now. So we've already had one major food processing facility get burned up a couple of years ago, and now we have another going on right here in the Magic Valley. Let's see. Pamela on YouTube says, a bit ago, a chemical railroad car disappeared. Be aware of reports that never tell the whereabouts. So, yeah, I mean, how does a railroad car just disappear? I don't know. Jeff says, he thinks it's too late to prevent something. And I kind of agree. There's plans in effect, I'm sure. And I'm sure they will, they'll carry out some of those plans. The idea is to lessen the effect. If we can harden our targets, harden our communities, be prepared for things, and like Doug says, if you see something, say something, which, we've all heard that before, but it's true. We got to work with our local law enforcement. As much as none of us trust the FBI anymore to be a real resource, I think our local law enforcement, our local sheriff's offices, local PDs, those people, they live in the communities. They live here. They've got to deal with things just like their families got to deal with it just like we do. They care. So we have to rely a little bit on them and a lot of bit on ourselves, on our own. Let's see. What do you think we could do? Can we prepare our close communities to recognize when something is either happening or going to happen? I call it reading the tea leaves. Years ago, I worked in a jail. And hang on, I'm going to let it break. And this is K6UDA for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. I used to work in a jail, and you could tell when something was going to happen. The inmates can tell. They knew that something was about to happen, and it was more or less on their end. You ask anybody that's ever been to prison or worked in a prison. Even though nothing is different, everything appears normal, and it's the normal going about everyday things. There's something about it because those people are very, very tuned in to their environment. They know that something is wrong. Something ain't right. And it's the same thing in your own hometown, in your own neighborhoods, you could tell when something is different. Something just doesn't feel right. And I've always told my trainees, listen to your gut. When that little nagging thing in the bottom of your gut tells you you don't want to be here, there's a reason. So it's one of those things. We've got to start trusting our guts. I'm gonna let it break. So, is there anything that we could do to read the tea leaves, to help read the tea leaves? Anybody on the radio? I'm just going to open it up. Radio side.
Reconnect.
All right, KK7EKK. Are you just trying to reconnect, or do you got something?
Yeah, I definitely have an answer to your question on the training.
Which they'll say this anyways, for humor, I guess because it's the aliens, that's the UFOs that vaporize that train, or taking it away. Calgon train, or the Calgon, but as far as preparing, I think in communication with each other and developing people knowing people that are aware. I think being friendly with your police department, knowing what's going on in the area. I talked to my local area and found out that there is certain groups of people, I'm not going to say their names out, to advertise them because they probably want the advertisement, but they're here. So, knowing they're here gives you a heads up to know that they're not walking in an idea that they can't happen here. Pretty much all this is Kilo 7 Echo Kilo. Thank you for doing that.
KJ7 radar.
Yeah, Terry, go ahead.
You know, what I find interesting, and it's happening around the globe, there's something I've been paying attention to back even from the 70s, 1970, when I was an officer. But I sense it now more than everything. There's really a sense that something is going to happen. And we know that there's static happening in America. We don't know from the elections, etc. But not just America, but like Israel and Ukraine, Russia, Iran, Korea, China, all these places. We have never, for my life, and I'm up there in age, we have never had this sense of imminence. Something is going to happen. We don't know what it is, but we sense things are shaking. Something's going to happen. Break there for a second. And I think that's important. I think that's got to put that in our conscious and ability to recognize something's going to happen. So since we really don't know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, I believe it's wise just to prepare yourself to make sure that regardless of what happens, that you're safe, that you have your food, your supplies, your guns, whatever it is that you feel you need. I think that's important, that we have that sense and we need to prepare for it, because we won't know what's going to happen until it does happen. And we don't want to be those that after it happens going, oh my gosh, I should have done something and then I don't have anything to do. to prepare for. And I think that this kind of event right now is good for that. I think the people that are monitoring they're here because they're ready to prepare and have been and essentially this thing. So relevant. I think we can deal with that and cut this off as just so over K7 RER.
All right. Thanks. Well, Brett and Terry, both. Thank you guys. Anybody else on the radio?
W6 DUG.
Doug, go ahead.
Yeah, just as a follow-up to my earlier comments about the Fusion Center and getting information out to your local and federal law enforcement, on the comments of the YouTube, I've entered the webpage of, there is a suspicious activity report for every state, and that if you look up the National Fusion Center and Suspicious Activity Report, it will give you a list of every state. You click on your particular state, and you can fill that out, and that'll get you to the local and state.
Okay. Hey, thanks for the info and the clarification. Any other comments so far on the radio side? Okay. And Brad, K7YAZ, got you logged in on NetLogger. Let's see. Let me get back to the right screen here. Terry did a fantastic job. I wanted to solicit you guys. I didn't want to just get up here and talk. So Terry has put together a list of questions to go along with this. So, what can we do to equip ourselves, our families, neighbors to be ready to act if we encounter one of these incidents by let's say a small group of terrorists? Anybody?
KD8I, okay.
Jeff, I've been waiting for you to pipe up. Go ahead.
I've keyed up a couple times, it just hasn't come through for some reason. So, in answer to that question, I think one of the biggest things that we could do is exactly what we're doing here. We are forming a group, although we're scattered all over the country. We're still forming a group that is giving at least myself and my wife the incentive to try to form smaller, more localized groups. And I think the biggest thing is when it comes to being prepared and prevention, it's strength in numbers. And I think that even just a casual conversation, you can start building your inner circle without sharing everything you're doing until you know that you can trust the people that you're talking to, just by having some general conversation with those around you and get their feeling for how they feel about preparing and terrorist attacks and things like that. I think that first and foremost should be step number one. And then I actually have, I'm going to break for a second. Okay, I actually have a question for you, Bob, and for Doug, or anybody else that's out there from the law enforcement or past law enforcement field. Myself being a past dispatcher in law enforcement, I've been around a lot of police officers that used to kind of frown on frivolous calls and reports. So if you see something, say something aspect, which I completely agree with, I don't think there's a way to solve it, at least not on this net. But a lot of times officers have a tendency to frown on you when you see something that they think is frivolous, and they get irritated because you're creating more paperwork for them. And I think that we need to squelch that notion and let everybody know that that's their job. And, you know, they need to do it. But as a former law enforcement officer, did you take those, see something, say something, report seriously? Or did you, and I'm not going to say that you're a demeaning person, but a lot of officers that I've dealt with have demeaning attitudes and make you feel bad for bothering them.
W60.
Yeah, Doug, I was going to just ask you first. Go ahead.
You know, I have spent a lot of my career talking with senior groups and volunteer groups, Rotary and stuff like that, and I've always told them that do not be afraid to contact us. You know, you pay taxes all these years that you deserve to be able to contact somebody if you think that just something's wrong. And if you have officers that are the old crusty guys that just don't think, you know, they're kind of burned out, you know, you just got to, the people that I talked with, and, you know, I'm from a small town too, and when I put my SAR report in, man, they were right on top of it, and they wanted more information. And they'll determine, I mean, especially the SAR report, they'll determine if you know, once they get the information, if there's anything that they can follow up on. And I think in this day and age, the training for intelligence and terrorism and stuff like that, that's what the police departments should be willing to do. And if you have police officers that have that attitude, then maybe they should find other work, because law enforcement is a service provider. And I realize large agencies, when you get really busy, it may take a back seat, but there's a time and a place for it. W6DUG.
KD8I okay for a follow-up.
Jeff, go.
Yeah, I just
want to follow up. I do want to state that a lot of my experience in the dispatching years were well before 9/11, and I do feel that there is a different attitude and demeanor these days after that situation. So that was definitely pre-9/11 days where everybody was irritated and reports were done on paper.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely a consideration. Pre 9/11, a lot of officers around the country did not take terrorism very seriously. Just like a lot of people in general in our country, we felt insulated. We have never experienced a foreign invasion on our mainland. The closest we've come is Pearl Harbor until 9/11. Then we experienced it firsthand in a couple of cities. And, in the grand scheme of things, it was it affected a small amount of people. There was bigger things that we're afraid of today, that we prepare for today, like EMPs and chemical weapons, stuff like that. That I think we're ripe for the picking. But then again, in some ways, we're far more prepared. We're far more vigilant and looking for that stuff. And I'm going to let it drop. And this is K6GDA for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. Man, 17 nodes online. Got 98 people on the live stream, 76 thumbs up. Can I get an extra 20 or so thumbs up on the live stream? And I had seen a lot of that apathy in law enforcement. It was at years ago. It really was extra paperwork. It was extra work to take those reports. I think now a lot of people, or a lot of cops, they see the other side. They see the potential terrorism. They see the potential benefit in keeping those reports current, adding to them, and building the intelligence. I sure did after 9/11. I mean, it changed the way I did business. I kind of got heavily for a while into the counterterrorism end of it. So, I mean, it opened my eyes to things that I had never thought of, that I won't even talk about on something like this, especially since it involves putting a YouTube video up in the end. I think, honestly, having the prepared community, using things like, things like these nets that I'm doing. I'm hoping that I spark something in other people and other nets start. I'm hoping that in 2 years, this net is nothing. That everybody is listening to a bunch of other nets that have far-reaching audiences, that everybody else is doing stuff like this. I really hope that that something, intelligence nets or situational awareness nets, pop up on HF. That's my goal. A couple of comments here on YouTube. Let's see. I was always, John says he was always concerned about those of us living anywhere near a military installation. Obviously, those are potentially problematic locations for unprotected civilians. And that is true. Anywhere that there's, major airports, military installations, especially if they're on those strategic lists, are potential targets for, they're on the nuclear hit list if everything goes bad. But then again, there's a lot of potential targets out there. Let me get back to my list of questions. I am almost done. This is awesome, guys. This is what I wanted. I wanted to get people on the net involved in this. Let's see. You know, here's something that I did want to bring up, and we'll probably talk about this on another net. Senator Markey, Democrat from Massachusetts, submitted a bill late January that he called it the Preventing Private Paramilitary Activity Act of 2024. Basically, his idea is to prevent groups of 3 or more from associating under any kind of a command structure for the purpose of functioning in public or training to function in any kind of combat, law enforcement, security services. This is horrible legislation. This is insane. This would make it illegal to train, say, church groups. Churches are a big potential target, especially I would say in the Muslim terrorist world. Christian churches, Jewish synagogues are going to be or are huge targets. We just had one attacked last weekend in Texas. Thank God people there go to church armed and are trained. But in a lot of churches right now, there are security teams made up of parishioners. They go to training, and then they're kind of deployed throughout the church, inside and outside. They have a plan for how they would take on a terrorist or a criminal act going on, and that's usually somebody who comes armed. They want to go take out as many people as they can, something like that. They're trained, how to lock the doors, how to keep people inside safe, how to isolate a bad guy, how to engage a bad guy if they absolutely have to. Who's going to call 911 and get the cops rolling? All that kind of stuff. A bill like this would make that illegal, to train a team of, say, 5 or 10 guys and gals. It would make it illegal for them to train and become a security force for their own benefit, for the benefit of their own community. This is Senate Bill 3589. If you guys are taking notes, Senate Bill 8539 or 3589. Call your senators wherever you live and tell them this is horrible. You know what? This also violates the Second Amendment. The unorganized militia. This violates the Second Amendment, but this is designed to violate the Second Amendment, in my opinion. Okay. You know what? We are 11 after the hour. So we've been going for a little bit over an hour, and we've been going longer than that on the YouTube side. Does anybody have anything else they have for the good of the order?
Yeah, follow up to Kilo 7 Echo Kilo. Follow up.
Yeah, Brett, go ahead.
They try to point I believe the next, what they have to do, just like you pointed out with the ability to train, they have been pointing out one single particular weapon, mainly in general. They did it with Sandy Hook when he used a shotgun through the window and a handgun to the school rifle was originally on the news for the first broadcast showing where the rifle was on the trunk. They want to eliminate target they made. I believe the next attack, will somehow make it as though handguns or rifles or whatever are bad to have, and everybody will agree to us turning our silent majority, just like there's a majority that believes certain things. They'll start saying, I'll turn mine in, never tend to turn theirs in, and or maybe one or two of theirs, and they have hundreds of them. And then while you are the NBA team turns everybody like they made a law in Connecticut where you have to stand in line and register if you own a certain firearm, you get set up. You have to stand in line and register that, or if you own over certain magazine, you have to register that. So there's a lot of people that support that idea. They think that everybody should know, and then the New York papers broadcasted who owns what in the state, what times they own what, and stuff like that. So, and I think they tried that again just recently. They did something in Illinois. This is going on in Illinois right now. So, I think there was fiction of what actually happened in New York before. So, history tends to repeat itself, and they just incrementally just try to go after do what big major to do, and then let's go making that attempt to eliminate some of these trees and take these all away.
Yeah, Barry, thank you for that. That is 100% spot on. This is just a way of asserting more control by the the Democrats. They just want to control every aspect of our lives. And the only way they could do that, they have to get rid of the Second Amendment. And so that has been their major goal for the last 30 years. They've been trying to do that. Anybody else with any last minute anything for the good of the order? I'm going to close out the net side. Okay, with that, my friends, I want to thank everybody for joining in. 19 nodes online right now, 94 people on the live stream with 99 thumbs up. Freaking awesome. I love this. This is how we build a community. Little steps like this. Little nets like this. And I still consider this a very small net. I kind of gear this toward the Magic Valley, toward Idaho. Because I live here. This is my home. So anyway, I hope to see all of you next week. If you have any net suggestions, please leave them for me. Send me an email. Put them in the comments after the net, or after we log off. Go back in, just fire up this video and put a comment in. If you have a net suggestion, I would love to hear them. Guys, thank you all so much for joining. And this is Bob, K6UDA, returning the frequencies, all the frequencies and all the Wires X nodes back to their normal operation. Remember, guys, everybody that's connected right now, you are welcome to stay connected throughout the week. If you don't connect anywhere else regularly, you're invited to connect during the week. If I'm on the radio, I'll answer. And the more people we have connected, the more we could stay in touch. Talk to you all next time. I'm Bob, K6UDA 73. All right, guys. Back to you.
Bob, I hope I can catch you before you let go. KD0JNQ, Davenport, Iowa. I got a comment that I feel you should.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'm out here in Davenport, right on the Iowa side of the Mississippi River. On the Illinois side of the Mississippi River, as the man just alluded to, that Governor Pritzker is taking and making the law, trying to get the law through the state Supreme Court right now, that they take and register all weapons that take anything over a 15-round magazine. Okay. Denny Reese, the owner of Springfield Armory Incorporated, has slowed the bill down, the law, or whatever you want to call it. It's passed, but it's stuck in the Supreme Court right now. He has slowed it down. They can again restart and manufacture firearms here, or weapons here in the state of Illinois. They cannot sell them to Illinois residents. 99% of the counties, all but Cook County in Illinois, the sheriff's departments there right now are on a severe watch because they're up to be charged for obstructing of justice over this law, especially the one in the county that I'm from, Henry County, and he has really stood against it. That's why they're taking the registration part of the firearms bill or law out of the sheriff's hands and putting it back into the state patrol's hands. But there are people out there, and they are fighting hard. Dennis Reese, Chuck Larson. We have Les Bear on the Illinois or the Iowa side of the river, really fighting hard to fight these laws. We also have Carl Lewis, who owns LMT. In Davenport Guns here, Mark Westrom and his daughter, they're fighting hard too, and they're all people of the gun world. Mark Westrom used to own Armalite. So just to let you know, there are people out there fighting these bills and these laws. And thank you, KD0JNQ.
Hey, thanks for that. That is awesome. That is awesome information. Glad to see you're involved out there. I'm involved here. I always tell people, you know, if you want to keep your rights, support the people that are out there in the trenches protecting them. Gun Owners of America, FPC, Gun Owners of California, California Pistol and Rifle Association, New York Pistol and Rifle Association. These are the organizations that are really out there in the trenches for all of us. Thank you. And who said you can't talk politics on ham radio? I love this. K6UDA. All right.
89YY.
I've had the privilege of working for, I was a part in the 80s and 90s with Springfield Armory as being a gun polisher and finisher, and also bluer. I started their blue shop with them, and then I went on to work in their machine shop with some of the best gun and firearms makers in the world. And when I talk in the world, I talk of some great names. Les Lucas, Tim McCubbin, Rob Latham, Mr. Kimber, Dan King. Gosh, I'm going through so many names now, I'm getting lost in them all. And these people are all fighting very hard to keep things going. Randy Shervine, they're all very, very strong gunsmiths from the industry. They made the guns that made these companies in my area big, strong, and ready to go. So I just thought I'd take and get that in there real quick. So once again, thank you, Bob. Kilo Delta Zero, Juliet, November.
All right, KD0, JNQ. Thank you. Again, thank you so much. There was somebody else that keyed up. K6UDA.
Hey Bob, KD9YY. I was just wanting to check in. I was too far away from my node. I could hear you, but I couldn't get in. So hopefully I can get in now.
You are in there, my friend. Thanks for stopping by. All right. All right. Okay, my friends. Anything from you guys? Anything? Any words of wisdom? I got to keep these on if I'm going to read these comments because I can't see them. Look at that. Okay, we still got 16, 18, 17 in there. It's I love this. Put me on the mailing list. You know what? That's a good idea. I wish I had a mailing list. I probably should do one. I should probably put one together because, you know, YouTube could pull the pin on me at any minute. I fully expect it. That's why I do this on Rumble too. I post these on Rumble. I just can't. And the reason I don't live stream on Rumble. What? Well, they're from all over the country, honey. Yeah. Guys, if you're here in Idaho, what is it? In the next couple of weeks. Oh, another thumbs down. Oh, I'm so hurt. Thank you for the engagement, by the way. And I told you guys on the last video, the hurtful left, they're trying to crush me now. And that's fine. I could deal with them, but I need your help. I need more thumbs up than thumbs down, and we got them right now, but we need to keep that going. One of the big reasons I don't live stream this on Rumble as opposed to YouTube is on the right side of your screen there, the comments that I've got running right through here. Rumble doesn't allow me to put the comment screen up. God, I don't even know how I would. It's basically, it's kind of a see-through screen. I've got it sitting right in the middle of my screen, and if I move it, it moves that. So I got to keep it right there so you guys could all see it, and you could kind of, I can run back and forth. You can go back in time on the replay. But anyway, I can't do that on Rumble. So I choose to live stream here. That's the only way that I can put the comments directly into the chat. And I know off the side of the screen on live, you guys have the comments and you can move them up and down and scroll through them. But on the replay, they're not there. Anyway, anything from you guys? Anything at all? I'm getting ready to go to the Filer Gun Show, or the Twin Falls Gun Show, right over at the fairgrounds. I'm gonna go see if there's a couple of things on my I want it real bad list. A new 4470, if I could find one, and another 2011. I would like to get a nice light 2011 to carry, and I'm carrying my Springfield Prodigy right now. Carry that on a daily basis, but it's a big gun, man. That's heavy, a lot heavier than I want to. Let's see. You know what? Yeah, the DMR radio on a hotspot. Oh man, three thumbs down. I'm crushed. You communists are you're crushing me. I don't know how I'm going to survive. I wonder how Dan B Show does live comments like this on Rumble. I don't know. He might be using a different program for doing the live stream. I use a program called Ecamm Live. It's a Mac specific program that I use. I know that I could put up comments, but I can't put them, I can't embed the comments in the video. And to actually, for me to see the comments on the live stream, I have to have Rumble running on the side. It's just something Ecamm hasn't figured it out yet, or they don't want to figure it out. I don't know if they're lefties, if they're, I think they just, they put up YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and they don't care about anything else. I don't know. Let's see. Ready.gov website for free cert manuals and other materials from Pamela. Great net as usual. I sound like I feel better. I feel much better. I'm feeling pretty much normal. Oh, have I looked at the platypus? I have designed a platypus. Oh, this thing. Let me see. Let me see if I have the picture of the one that I designed. I'm really thinking of pulling the trigger on this thing. if I can hold it up here. I don't know. That is the platypus that I had designed on their website. Let me put it up there. This thing is badass. And yes, I am planning on getting one. But hey, it's fun to go to a gun show. It's fun to Springfield are 2A traders from the Shadow Bear. How? How are Springfield 2A traders? Don't know. People out there giving thumbs down, stop. Don't do that anymore. Oh, we're down to 1 thumbs down now. There was 3. Oh, now there's 2 again. Isn't that special? You can't hurt me with your thumbs down. Thank you for the engagement, by the way. Because that counts as engagement for me. This is awesome. Guys, 81 people still in the house. The net is over. It's 10:30. Holy crap. And we're just kind of hanging out. Smartass Ham Radio is checking in. Good to see you, my friend. Hopefully they still learned something. Yes, from Pamela. Hopefully the commies in the crowd are learning something. They'll probably try to take down K6UDA radio, but I'll just, you know what? If they take it down over here on YouTube, I'll just move everything over to Rumble. It'll be fine. I would actually rather be almost like 100% on Rumble. I wish more people would check into Rumble. It's a great platform. It's still got some growing. Oh, by the way, I didn't want to say it on the radio, but I'll say it now. I did the YouTube membership thing. So if you have a mind to, and you want to support me here on YouTube or anywhere, join the membership deal. And I'm planning on putting out some members only content and some stuff. I think there's one level, there's a couple of guys that have contacted me through email over the years, and then called me, and I give them like radio advice, help them through a problem, whatever. I would do that. That is, I have no problem helping people. I don't want to get bogged down. I don't want to be tech support, but you know what? For the right price, I will. Let's see, probably LP, their purity trends just to fracture things and leave us in worse shape. They have supported anti-gun legislation. Why in the world would a gun company support anti-gun legislation? That I'll look into that. I've been a big Springfield fan for years and years. Wow. But I don't know. If they are truly doing anti-2A things, I won't support them anymore. I mean, even though they make some of my favorite pistols in the world, and my SOCOM 16, that's a Springfield product, and that is one fun gun. Oh man, that thing just gets me all jazzed up thinking about it, because that's so fun. SOCOM 16, in case you're gonna look it up. Anyone able to let me know their settings for the YSF room? From Steel Wolf. Well, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, we can set up some sort of a work out the bugs net and not interfere with this one. This one is I will say, a setup net. And I love the format. I love the fact that now we're starting to get more and more people involved in this. And man, I think this has the potential to be big. I love the fact that there's still half hour after the net ends officially, there's 11 nodes hooked up. And if you're on one of those, feel free to jump in and let's BS. We can bullshit. Let's see. Steel Wolf, all the stems from the Gun Dealer Licensing Act. The act would require that all Illinois firearms dealers be licensed at the federal level as well. So currently, all firearms dealers do have to be federally licensed with the ATF. That's been like that for years. Level licensing is already required. Small dealers who sell less than... Oh, okay. So the ATF had considered small dealers 10 firearms or less if it's not their primary source of income or a primary source of income. That's always been the rule. Then you're exempt. That's like me. If I decided, hey, I'm liquidating part of my collection, and I sold 9 guns, I'm good. I don't have to worry about it unless I sell them to a gun dealer. But if I consign them, I'm still selling them. That's the Springfield issue. Oh, okay. Jeff says he would like to help create an email list. You know, maybe we'll work on something like that. Jeff, send me an email and or call me on the radio. I'll shoot you my phone number and we could talk about it. I'm kind of trying to figure that out. I'm reluctant to do an email thing like Jason from Ham Radio 2.0. He does. He did this whole marketing program back when we were, 2,000 subscribers strong. So he and I both took the same marketing course. It was a YouTube course for marketing and building your channel and everything. He went nuts and did everything in the course. I did some things, and some things I kind of went, not really interested. And then, we were for years right there, right at the same level. And then I took 2 weeks off in, I think, like 2018, something like that. I took 2 weeks off. He didn't. He kept up the 3 or 4 videos a week, and he kept growing, grew at an exponential rate, and YouTube decided they didn't like me anymore because I took a vacation. So, fuck them. Let's see. Astounding that a senator that lives in a community of Lexington and Concord would sponsor an anti-militia act. Hey, yeah. I guess he figures that, well, he figures that, he's in a stronghold. Benchmade is also on the shit list for chopping up guns for a local PD. Really? Oh my Lord, Bear, you're killing me. I'm not going to say I'm as big a Benchmade fan, but I'm carrying a Benchmade right now. I'm carrying this auto. Great knife. And it also has, let me see if I can't. Well, let me turn camera 2 on. Let me go back over here. Go to camera 2. And Morse code, guys. Anybody read Morse code? Tell me what that says. Yeah. So anyway, let me go back to camera 1. We don't need all the other stuff up anymore. We can come back to here. And I am kind of getting ready to head out, go to the gun show, see what I can. Like I said, on my I want it list is a 4570 lever action would be freaking bitching. If I could find something that I can afford. I'm not going to spend $1,000 for a freaking 4570. A staccato would be on my list. A staccato C2. Is it a C2 or a CS? The short one. That one I would like. And yeah, Jeff, I remember, the channel is still booming. It is. Guys, there's 43,000 subscribers, and this year I'm kind of changing it up a little bit. If you've been watching the regular videos, I'm kind of shifting into a new gear. It's kind of like this. It's more prepper concentric, preparedness minded hams. And I'll put some stuff out geared toward the GMRS people too, because, and I honestly don't care. I'm going to lose a few people here and there. There's the lefties are going to go away. They're going to unsubscribe because they don't believe anything can happen. It's the normalcy bias. They won't believe anything can happen to them until it happens. And then they'll wake up and they'll go, oh, what happened? What happened? My neighborhood just got bombed or whatever, Yes, I have a bunch of knives. I am what some would call a knife whore. And I love tactical knives. So I collect a lot of tactical knives. Prep Ham Paul got a Henry 3030. Yes, I would love, I know Henry makes a 4570. They're proud of it. It's an expensive piece. Let's see. I am still learning. It's still booming. Yeah, Jeff, I agree. I like this. I like being able to just talk to you guys about whatever is important, whatever we want. James is in the house. Good to see you, my brother. Always good to see you. And he's been building quirky stuff in the garage. Don't forget to go see Quirky QRP on Etsy. The dude makes some really cool stuff. James, I'm going to have you on the show just to kind of catch up and show what you've been putting out lately. It's stuff always amazes me. Let's see. Prepham Paul weeded out a lot of people. So after 2016, if you voted for Trump, when so many after 2016 were, if you voted for Trump, unfriend me. So I unfriended a lot of people. Yep. Yay. Really use GMR if it adds to the network. And who cares? Yes. Cold water. Yeah. In kind of changing it up here, changing the format a little bit to include, I want it to be more about preparedness and prepper communications or preparedness communications, emergency communications, and GMRS can definitely help in a lot of situations. I know it's going to be a big thing right here in my neighborhood. I'm trying to get everybody here in the neighborhood to pick up one or two GMRS radios, handhelds at the very least, because then it gives us the ability, at least here on my street, the ability to communicate, even if the cell phone go down, even if there's a power outage, everybody could pick up a radio, turn it on, and we could get some information back and forth to ourselves, which I think that's the kind of stuff that is building a community. I love this idea. The Southern Idaho Preparedness Zello group. I love it. I'll do the Southern Idaho Command. I'll have to figure out how to make a group on Zello. Let's see. He even put a shirt for me on his website. Yeah, I know. That is freaking awesome. I really need to start looking into Meshtastic and setting up a local. Yes. That is something that's on my list. I'm not a network guy. So it's out of my area of expertise, but it is something that I am I'm talking about with the AMCOM guys. Somebody asked me if I had looked into Amron. Yeah. Back here. Rainbark. I mentioned AMCON. Did I look at Amron based in my area? That is another, that's another organization that I need to look into them a little bit more. I like the AMCOM aspect because we're putting together nets that are going to go wider than the American Redoubt. It's going to be national, and we're starting to work on things, building nets that'll have sit reps in them, situational awareness reports. So if something happens in, say in my area, and I've got a little bit of information that I could put out that might affect at some point other areas. I talked about during the net, a food processing plant that is on fire right now here across the river. That could have far-reaching implications, and I don't know which one is on fire. There's a lot of dairies. There's several dairy processing plants in the area. So if it's one of the big ones and if it burns to the ground, that could be an issue. It could have national implications. Wanting to start a Meshtastic network. Chris wants to start a Meshtastic. Amron and the Channel 3 project. And I really don't know. I've got to really look into what the Channel 3 project is. I've got a lot of stuff on my plate right now. Just tons of stuff. I've got to look a little bit more into Amron. If anybody's watching that's a member of Amron that wants to get in touch with me, kind of fill me in, email or call. I'm not opposed to being part of. Yeah, Terry KJ7RAR says was a lot of good folks on YouTube. Was a good day today. A lot of good folks on YouTube. Yes, I'm going to tell Terry, and we're still going strong right now. Let's see, 75 people still on there. Jeez, the net's been over for 45 minutes, and we're still going strong, baby. Yeah, there it is. Channel 3, FRS, GMRS, CB, ham, coordinating prepper radio with non-ham. I love that. I love that that idea, and that really reminds me of what happened in a small town in Northern California, the town of Paradise, that burned down a few years ago, that I made a huge freaking stink over on a video, and the ARRL wouldn't even back it up. They, well, kind of put a bad taste in my mouth for them, but the Channel 3 project, I like that. Now I got the hiccups. What is hello? Oh, Zello. What is Zello? Zello is an app on your phone. It's kind of a walkie-talkie-ish app that has different rooms or different groups that you can do. Amcon makes heavy use of Zello and Signal. Good bunch of guys on Amcon. I would love to meet some guys on Amron. Maybe Amron has a chapter here in the Magic Valley. I don't know. But like I've been saying, I'm trying to build a tribe here that we can rely on. People that we can rely on. There's people here that I know that I think I can rely on for some things. I don't know if I can rely on those same people for the 2 a.m. things. I know Terry's one that I can rely on for. He's a 2 a.m. guy. I could call him if I really needed him. Zillow is a cell phone app. Yep. You create groups, have group chats. Yeah, really, ARL. Thanks for nothing. Amron teamed up with Tapron. Okay. What is Tapron or TapRN? For Steve. And then I gotta start going. Discord is a great way to talk. I used to go on Josh's Discord a few years back after some of the live things that we were doing back and forth. He had the advantage. Josh had and has still to this day the advantage of having a bunch of people who knew all of these things, the Discord things, these other platforms, that volunteered to help him and to, hey, I'll set this up, I'll do this, I'll run this. And that gave him a huge advantage. I don't know anything about Discord, really. I do everything I do. Every media, every social media, every deal that I do here for the K6UDA channel, for all of these nets, for this, that, is me. Man, I don't have any backup. 208. What is that? Having way too much fun on YouTube. Oh, that's awesome. Wrong button. Who is this? Somebody that I don't have in my phone. Oh. Is the owner of the towers. Oh, it's who is this? Okay. Last 4 of 4268. Okay. Yep. Dude, thank you. For local comms, consider small-powered, solar-powered, store and forward repeater. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I am thinking about sticking a GMRS repeater up on my tower. Local little GMRS repeater. Why not? I don't even know how to program the Midland GMRS radio for a local repeater that's already installed in my Jeep. It's Ken. Okay. Ken, I gotta put this in my phone now. I will definitely get you stored in the phone there. Just became an AMCOM member after you mentioned it last week. Look forward. Yeah, great organization. AMCON is a great organization because it's because it's national. And you've got communications between a lot of, and it filters down so well. I'm really impressed. I'm in the Northwest region. Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and Utah. Is it Utah is in there? Yeah. Northwest region. And then every state has their own group. There's an Idaho group. There's the North Idaho group, which is more concentric to North Idaho. There's the South Idaho group over here, which is the Boise area. And I am trying to start up a Twin Falls group. So that's how far down you can get. So, but we've also got communications at that Northwest region, at there's a Southwest region, there's Southeast, there's Northeast, all kinds of regions in it, and there's national nets, big into HF, big into WinLink, into JS8 call, into FT8 and other digital means of getting a message across. So, sleeper repeaters, which are private, which you can turn on remotely with a code. Yes, there are. There's a lot of cool technology that I just don't even know how it runs. Don't use the RT97 or the Midland. They don't have enough power to go very far for GMRS. For which Midland? I actually have, what is it, the MTX 275. I didn't want to spring big time for the 50-watt version because I don't use GMRS that often unless I'm right around here. And I don't know the RT97 or the Midland. Don't know. Okay. Anyway. Man, 11 o'clock. I want to go to the gun show, guys. So I think it's about time. Don't want the enemy to be able to monitor your group's online prepping plans. You should all be using Session app. Okay, James, you'll have to fill me in on what Session is. Wow, so many apps. I'm just learning all this stuff. So, you know what? Hey, here's an idea. You guys that know what the hell you're doing, help me out. If maybe we need to kind of, if somebody says, hey, let's get on this Discord or a this or a that. If anybody wants to take the lead and set some of these things up, I'm game. I will definitely, I'm all for it. Let's see. Amron, UHF, HF, 80 meter voice, digital, local nets. Very cool. Steve, sounds like maybe you're a member of Amron. Get in touch with me. Email me. My email is all over the place. Let me know. Or if you know somebody that's in Amron that would give me a call. Because if it's, hey, if it works, it works. And I'm not for reinventing the wheel. Yep. This is the comment of the day. John here. I'm a subscriber. Thank you. My comment is it doesn't matter whether you're a ham, GMRS, CB, Meshtastic, we're all Americans. If shit hits the fan, we all need to communicate. There it is in a nutshell. That is it. That is a mic drop moment right there. There's the mic drop moment. All right, guys. All right, I'm going to say I'm out of here. It's time for me to go to a gun show. I will catch you guys later. This is so much fun. I almost hate to leave, but I'm going to. Always leave them wanting more. All right, my friends. With that, the end of today. I am Bob, K6UDA. I'm out of here. 7-3 all. And we're out.